What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Getting Started with Lofty series. In the last video, I showed you everything that you need to know about the settings tab. So today I want to show you guys a brief overview of the entire Lofty platform, just to give you kind of that 30,000 foot view. And then from there, I'm going to start releasing individual videos on each section of Lofty. So by the end of this series, you're going to have an absolute dialed in understanding of how to use Lofty, so that way you can start leveling up your game via your CRM. What's up, everybody? I'm Adam Gillespie, and I help realtors level up their game by the ethical and responsible use of AI and practical applications of their CRM inside their business. So if you want to stay on top of your game and you want to level up, make sure to hit like and subscribe to my channel for more awesome tutorial videos like the one you're about to see. So without any further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys, so here we are inside of Lofty, and where we're at here first is the dashboard. So in order to get access to your dashboard or to see the dashboard, you just want to click the EXP Realty logo up here, or it may be a Lofty logo for you, or whatever white labeled group that you've signed up underneath. You'll get this access to this dashboard here, and it's just a brief overview of your CRM on one page, right? So you can see here, it shows how many new leads we got today, how many new opportunities are there today, and how many new tasks are due today. And then they even have a spot here for our business goal. I'm going to do, once again, a separate video on this. This video is just going to be your overview today. So I just want you guys to get used to the actual Lofty platform and what that looks like and how to operate it. Any listings that you have are going to pop up right here. Shows here that we got smart listings. I am running ads on that, so I've had 14 interactions, ended up getting 10 leads out of this for about like $10 a lead, so pretty much on average with running internet ads. It shows us today's hot listings, so this shows us everything on the MLS. Shows our smart plan emails that are going out today and what's going on with that. Any announcements that's coming through the pipeline there. Shows our property alerts, and then here is the Lofty Learning Center. So if you are brand new to Lofty, you really want to start here, right? After we get everything set up in the settings there, before you start to bring in your first lead, I would hit that Learning Center, kick back, maybe do it on a Friday or something like that, or when you're getting off of work, crack a beer, maybe open up a bottle of wine.
Yes, let's crack open a bottle of wine.
And just relax and learn a little bit about this, and you will not regret that, because CRMs can be daunting to learn, especially if you're brand new to CRMs in general. It can get really overwhelming, and this will help take care of some of that overwhelm and make sure that we set you on the path. Now, if you don't have time to jump on that learning, just stay tuned, because I'm going to show you guys everything you need to know. So let's keep going on here. If you keep scrolling down here, they obviously have your referral links here, but shows my dialer package that today I've sent 6 out of my 500 texts that I'm allowed. Dialer packages are something that is separate on Lofty, so I will get into that in another video and show you guys kind of what you'd want to get set up as. And then it shows here that the emails. So I've sent 4,541 emails this month. My Lofty is pretty much completely automated, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that too, so that way you can send out lots of emails like this and get clients being nurtured inside your database without you having to physically be there every single day. So in a nutshell, that's the dashboard section. So next I want to jump over here to the people section, and this is where your leads are going to be stored. So all of your leads will be stored here inside the people section. So let's just take a look at that real quick. I'm going to drag my face down here so you can see everything. On this here, let's start with the left-hand side of the menu here. So we have our segments. This is formerly known as groups. So if you were on Chime before it switched over to Lofty, you probably saw this saying groups, but segments, groups, they're all the same thing, right? So you'll see here that I'm with EXP. So full disclosure, I'm using a user account on the EXP admin account. So I don't have access to edit these segments, but if you're on a separate instance account and you're not part of a large organization like EXP, then you will be able to edit these. But as you'll see here, we have like past clients, bus cards, assigned from, renters, sphere of influence, agents, all of that stuff there. We can group people in to these specific groups to help keep organized. So there's a couple of different ways to group agents on here, but segments is one of them. Second to that, we have our filters here. So we can filter out how we're seeing the people in these pipelines and in these areas, right? So you'll see here on my filter right now, I have it set up for my test leads just because I didn't want to give out any sensitive information for my other leads on there. So that's why it only shows one lead in the system here. But we can show these filters here, right? And we can customize these filters to basically break this section down to be a lot more digestible. So for example, if you're like, hey, today I'm going to go out and hit up some of my first time home buyers, like we can filter them out to where that's all that's showing up there. And then here we've got different areas that we can filter this on, like, so we can choose lead types, we can choose filter them by tags. So it's a really good way to basically get inside the system and drill this down into what you want to work on at this given moment. So that's your segments and your filters there on that side. Next up, we have our pipelines. Okay, so the pipelines are different than our segments or our groups, right? Pipelines are going to be the stage at where we're at with the lead, right? So everybody comes in, they're a new lead, right? We haven't done anything with them yet. We haven't contacted them yet. They come in as a new lead. From there, we try to get them in, try to get in contact with them. If we don't have get any contact with them, then we move them over to attempting contact. We have a spot for prospects, which I use this prospect section a little bit differently than most. And once again, this here is editable and you can change these and activate and deactivate any of them that you want if you're on a separate instance account. But if you're like me and you're signed up with EXP and you're using a user account, then you're gonna have to, you can't edit these. So I don't use a lot of these. I'll show you which ones I use that simplifies the process. So obviously new leads that come in I use. If I've tried to call them and haven't got a hold of them, I move them to attempting contact. If I'm bringing in a bunch of old leads that I haven't contacted in a long time, then I'll put them under prospect. So I know that that's where they're at. And then I can adjust them to whatever area of the pipeline as I move on to them. Nurture is for anybody that's 6 months or more out. Cold is where I put people who are a year out or who I've completely lost contact with. Warm is from 3 to 6 months. So if you're 3 to 6 months out, I'll put you in warm and I'll approach you with a completely different smart plan and drip campaign than I would if you were in nurture. And then in hot, that's people that are ready to rock and roll, like 0 to 3 months, we're ready to go. Once they're active and we're showing them houses, or I've signed a buyer agency or a seller's agency with them, or a listing contract, I would put them into active lead. If they book an appointment with me, they go into appointment set. If they miss the appointment, then I put them back into attempting contact. From there, I don't really use clients or contracts. If I have them under contract and we're actively going through a sale or a buy process, I will move them to pending and firm. And then everybody that's done, I move to closed. So I don't use the past clients, the sphere. Archive is where I put somebody who's basically said that they're more than a year or two out. I'll archive them there. And then I have drips that go through to them to being archived. That kind of keeps me top of mind. Bad leads will, if you got a lead that has wrong information, then they go there. If your lead opts out, I put them over here in a do not contact, or I'll even move them to trash or delete. But other than that, that's all that I use in the pipeline. And I'll do another video completely on pipelines a little bit later, but that's just a rough overview of how these pipelines work. So as you can see here, we've got our test lead. So if we click on the test lead name, it will bring us into the lead box here, right? And this is where we can interact with our lead and we get everything set up. So starting over here on the left-hand side, you have the stage in the pipeline. So I can move them through any stage of the pipeline right here. I can also add them to any portion of segments that I have from right here as well. So I don't have to go back to do that. If you see these 3 little dots up here, this is kind of like a little menu for everything, right? We can add property alerts on them. We can create property tours. We can put them on market reports. We can add smart plans. We can add a task. We can even send them our closely link, which is an awesome app that comes with all Lofty users. I will show you guys that app here in a later video as well. But we can even create CMAs. So this is kind of your one-stop shop for everything that you could want to do with that lead, just right up here. One of the cool features about this too is the social media. So I can click to find people on Facebook and it'll scrub the internet for their name and their email. And then we can friend them on social media, which is a big part of our nurturing plan that I'll get into a little bit later. Next to that, we have the ability to call them, text them, or email them right from here. So if I click this text box here, it'll pop open our text box. We have the ability to create a text with AI. We can also add a picture, and we can also use templates. So we'll get back into templates there as well. They even have variable options here, which we could put in here and it'll actually add the lead's first name right off the bat. So we don't have to type in every lead's first name. So if we're like mass emailing or mass texting, this is an awesome feature to use. Next to that, we have the lead's details. We got their phone number, their email, what source they came from, when they registered, and any tags that are in place. If we want to add tags, we can add them from right here. Super simple, just come through here. If you don't have the tag already set up here, then you may have to go to the settings tab, which is in the last video, the first video that I showed, and you can basically create your tags there. One of the cool things about Lofty too is that they actually have a section for the family members. So if this lead's married or they have kids that are involved in the actual process and we want to reach out to them as well, we can add all of their information into here, and then it will keep them in the same loop of correspondence that we're doing with the main lead there. So that's super awesome because a lot of other CRMs don't do that, and then you have to like send property alerts out to 2 people and you just kind of get double the work. This combines it all together to make it much, much easier for us. Next to that, we do have their social network info. So if it did scrub the internet and it found their social network info, it'll show that right here. And then we have a lead scoring system. So this is a scoring system that's internal of Lofty, and it's basically uses artificial intelligence to go through the lead's activity online, how they registered, and everything like that, and it'll give them a score, right? Scores under 50 are usually bad. Scores above 50 are awesome, and they'll just kind of keep getting better and better and better, and they will highlight them yellow all the way to green. If you see them on green on the lead score, then you've got a pretty active lead, and you probably want to reach out to them. We do have this little analysis button right here that'll show you how they came to the conclusion with the lead score, and it even shows their web activities and any communications that we've gone, so you can see the open rate for an individual lead on this. So this is super powerful, and I love Lofty for this reason because it has so much insights and analytics dialed into the platform that it's really hard for us to not be able to see, you know, what's the most effective, and then we can adjust our nurture plans based on that. Next on the list here is the assign to. So this is assigned to me, but we could change that. So if you have other agents in your organization, you can assign them. You can even assign an assistant. You can assign a referral partner, an ISA, showing assistants, transaction managers, co-listing agents. You can even do like reload automations or even assign your lender. So there is so many options within this program that it's absolutely mind-blowing. And this is why I'm creating this series for you guys, so that way I can give you some clarity on it. So up here, we have a couple of different tabs. We've got our activities tab. This activities tab will show us everything. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm under all, but right here, we do have basically anything that we've done with them as far as notes. We can separate their calls, their emails, their texts, any of the searches that they've done, any of the pages that they've viewed, and anything that we've listed as a favorite, and as well as any showing requests that they may have done. And then the system log here just shows things that I've done. So if you're like, hey, when did I throw them on that drip, or when did they register, or when did I put them on that property alert, you can get them there. But once again, it defaults on this all tab, and it shows everything. And if you don't like it to show everything all the time on that all tab, you can pick and choose what's listed in that all tab. Okay, and then you can also add your notes from right up here real quickly if you want. You can log calls, log text, or log emails. A lot of this will be done automatically if you're using the phone app, or if you're toggling anything from here. So I don't use that very much, but I do use this engagement tab. So this lead engagement tab is where we can set them up on property alerts if they're buyers, market snapshots if they're sellers, market reports if they're buyer or sellers, and home reports. So this is a super integral part of Lofty, and you will be using this, but I'm going to do a video all on setting up property alerts and market snapshots alone. But this is the area in which you would find them. Next tab over is smart plans. Okay, so this is where we would activate, pause, or delete smart plans. To do that, you could just click this little plus button here, and it'll show you all of our different smart plans. Shows you the company smart plans, group smart plans if you have any, or my smart plans, which the way I'm going to train you guys are going to be using your own smart plans that are custom to your voice and to your unique personality, so that way you get a better conversion. But this is going to be the area that we add those into. Okay, and then the next one here is our transactions and documents page. So as you guys may have not, or may have known, or may not have known, Lofty has a full functional transaction software inside the CRM, which is absolutely amazing. And it even does that one-way integration with SkySlope and other transaction coordination softwares there. So super cool. A lot of CRMs don't have a transaction section, but I love this because if you get into the habit of putting your transactions in, then you can use that business goal setting feature, and we can really track who's buying what and what that looks like. And it just gives you a real clear overview of how your business is doing at any given moment. Okay, so this is where all of that would be stored there. And that, in a nutshell, is the front end of where the leads are at, okay? So from there, we have this tab over here, which is our transactions, where you can actually set up all of your transactions inside there. Like I said, I'm gonna do a full video on this, but we have purchase, listing, lease, and others, and it's pretty awesome. Next tab over, we have the calendar. The calendar is awesome because we have a couple of different views from it. The default view is actually gonna be this calendar right here. As you can see, mine's full because I have all of my calendars hooked up into Lofty, so it knows everything that I'm getting ready to do. And then we have this other task over here, which is the task tab. This is gonna be where you spend a lot of time once you get Lofty dialed in, because this is where our tasks are gonna be, right? And if you're using this program effectively, then every time you're within a lead, you're gonna set another task for them to call. And eventually you're gonna be able to come to this tab every day and know exactly what needs to be done inside of your CRM for that day. So there's no more guesswork. There's no more worry. Did I get that follow-up? Did that fall through the cracks? Nothing's gonna fall through the cracks because we've got it all dialed in here. So this is super awesome as well. And then the next tab over, oh, actually, let me go back to calendar here. We also have a showing tab. So anybody who's requested a showing and when they've requested it will show up here. So super awesome feature there because the clients can actually request showings from our app and from our website, making this very powerful for ease of use for our clients. Next one is gonna be our listings. So if you've got an active listing at the time, it'll show up right here. And you can actually manage the listing straight out of this tab here. So if I were to click that, you can see that I'm running a little bit of a promotion on it. I'm about $10 a lead right now on this one here, but it's really easy. Lofty has an a la carte type situation where you can literally in a couple of clicks start running Facebook ads for your listings. Tab over here is going to be marketing. Okay, marketing is going to be where we can set up all of our lead generation tools, our smart plans, our home reports, our auto property alerts, everything lead generation and marketing can be found inside this tab here. And they do have a little dashboard right here. So once you click marketing, it'll show you the dashboard. But if you wanted to say create a smart plan, you would just come over to this menu on the left-hand side here, and you could just hit smart plans, and that'll take you to the area where we can actually create new smart plans. So I'll go through this tab in another video, but I just wanted to show you guys some of the quick navigation on that. We have access to landing pages, social studios, CMAs, the design center where we can actually build onto things. So like I said, I'll dive into that much deeper in a later video. So moving on, we've got the reporting section. Lofty is great at analyzing data and reporting that. So as you can see here, we've got a good section here of reporting. I had this last week, I got 5 new leads, made only 1 call or 2 calls with 1 lead, emailed 1,100 people, and you can just really keep a good eye on what's going on, especially in the automated side of the section of your business there, right? And it goes down even further. Like you can see the email accountability, what the open rate is. Right now you can see here that last month I had a 75% open rate. That is huge, guys, and that has a lot to do with the types of emails that I'm sending out, and I'll get into that later as well. But when we're personalizing our emails and we're focused on providing value and not trying to sell a client, you get open rates like that. Okay, you can also see how your business is performing. You can see the site traffic of your website, so you can see kind of who's visiting the website, what they're clicking on, and all of their activities. So super awesome there. Once you start really getting dialed into Lofty, this reporting section is going to be something that you're going to want to take a look at least once a week. Okay, and then the next site here is our website. Lofty does come with a website, and as a matter of fact, not only do they come with a website, but they come with a really, really cool website that and lots of templates that's super easy to set up. It's a lot like WordPress where you can just drag and drop everything on there. So excellent thing there. I will do an entire video on that as well. So back into Lofty here. So, and then we have the marketplace. I'm going to do a whole video on marketplace too, but like I said, Lofty is a la carte, guys. So you can literally come in here and you can start running seller ads, PPC ads, local service ads, Bing ads, Facebook ads, listing promotions, geographical farming, you name it, we can do it. Lofty does even have the opportunity to sign up for Social Studio Pro, which will automatically post to your social media for you. And it automatically posts listings, updates to listings, all of that good stuff. They do have their own CMA and home report. If you're wanting to sign up for the IDX website, you would do that right here. And yeah, basically it's got everything. You got power dialers, text packages, AI assistant, The AI assistant is really cool, and they're still developing that, so it's not all the way there yet. Sometimes the AI assistant can get a little bit confused, so for that you want to pay really close attention if you're running AI, because you may need to intervene. I've had a lot of experiences where the AI bot misunderstands the lead, and it'll kind of start replying with a bunch of gibberish, and you don't want that, so keep a very close line on that. But they also do have a 3-line dialer, so you can sign up for that and make a bunch of calls at once. Well, up to 3 lines at once. And then they also have an unlimited text option there. And then last but not least, guys, we have the settings tab, which I went through on the last video there, and that'll show you everything you need to know. So this is a quick 30,000 foot overview of Lofty. There is a ton more stuff in there, but I'm gonna dive into each one of these tabs individually to make sure that you are absolutely clear on everything that Lofty can do and all of its capabilities. So until next time, this has been your overview. I hope you found some value, and we'll see you in the next video. That's the brief overview of Lofty. In the next video in this series, we're gonna dive into adding your first lead and everything that needs to go on behind those scenes. I'm gonna show you guys the standard operating procedures that I use for every lead, and we're just gonna keep continuing down. Like I said, by the end of this series, you are going to be well-versed in how to use Lofty to level up your business and maintain those relationships and continue to nurture those clients. So if you found value from this video, please make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel, because this is what it's all about over here. It's all about helping educate and inform you about the ways that we can use AI and CRMs in our business to provide absolute stellar customer service to our clients. If you want to get even more deep than we do on this channel here, make sure to DM me or hit me up, because I have an awesome community that is full of AI and CRM driven agents where we share everything that we know about our knowledge on this subject so we can help each other build and grow as a community. And then I also have a course that's available called Agent Prompt University, and this course is all about the practical applications of AI inside our real estate business. So I don't go into theory here, I go into practical applications and show you guys the things that I do in my business and that other agents have done in their business that actually work. So check out Agent Prompt University, and we'll catch you on the next video.